hearing Portia. Hi, loves. Just acclimatizing to everyone's energy. My apology for the sound of the fan. It is very, very hot here right now. I went back into my own chakra playlist as suggested in the last reading that I did, and I was drawn to the Earth Star Chakra Venusian activation, and allowed the list to play on for a while. I just felt drawn by the Venusian energy to do another reading. I'm seeing like Venus cockle shell earrings as well. So when I was thinking about doing the reading, I actually stubbed my little toe and really loudly heard, "Don't you slip, don't you slip in love with the girls on the avenue," which is a song by Richard Clapton. As I'm going about starting to set up, I started seeing images of Vincent van Gogh and thinking about him, his relationship with Gauguin, who he lived with for a short amount of time, the trials and tribulations that they had. But what connected them to that song was the whole prostitution element of it. So I was thinking about it for a while, continuing to go along with cleaning up, setting up, and the Miracle of Love by the Eurythmics started to take over, because I was thinking that it's about alchemizing polarities and sexuality. I do not have a solid view on prostitution. I think it depends on the individuals involved, whether it is actually their choice, whether it comes from wounding, whether it is something that brings them their highest joy or not. There's always exceptions to the rule, and we tend to put blanket decisions on this is wrong, this is right. And anyone who would identify as an earth angel or a starseed has come here to create waves, to create change in what has been accepted. So the individuals have to be the ones to decide. And when people are placed in situations where their free will is not considered, prostitution would be a more extreme case, but it happens, then that's a part of their story, it's a part of their growth and their learning, but that does not make it right in the terms of humanity. In the terms of being a human being, your rights should not be violated, but they are continuously in this world. And we've come to... They're trying to lighten it up a little bit. They just showed me SpongeBob like flopping into a puddle and soaking it up. We've come to go head first into the muck on this planet and soak it up, absorb it, and alchemize it. And anyone going through anything, doesn't matter how extreme it is or how small it seems, the struggles are real, and we're here with you. There's a miracle of love, And so then I was lighting a candle for God, for the Creator, and I usually use a lighter, but I was drawn to use a match, and they said light a match. I feel like there's a match of some description, it could be romantic or otherwise, that is a little exotic for your experience. It's just meaning different to what you're become used to, that will make you thrive. And I also watched Shirley Valentine recently, and the reason why that was relevant was because even though she had a nice experience with somebody who wasn't her husband, she knew the difference between being caught up in a moment and enjoying herself and actually being in love. There are so many versions of love. I think the Greeks had it right by having different words for love, but you know what I'm talking about. And when I went to call in the angels to create the container, the first one that came in before I even called was Azrael, the angel of transformation. They're the kind of psychopomps of the angel realm, I guess, although all angels can come to receive your soul and escort you to wherever you're going to be processed on the other side of the veil. It depends on what makes you most comfortable. Other examples of psychopomps might be Hecate or Hermes. Anyone that is of transition, of the liminal spaces, are usually a psychopomp, because they are, with actual death leaving the physical vessel, is the most extreme in our experience, but they help the transitions from being a school child and transitioning into the workforce, or to leaving home and traveling, or from being single to being in a relationship, from being a parent, and you will always remain a parent, but then having the children leave to go on their own journey as adults, hopefully. All these things, going from job to job, it changes the identity of the ego. 1111. So they're transitional spaces, they're transformative spaces. And if you're a Scorpio like me, there's lots of them internally as well. A few months back, I went through a huge transition, and it was really sudden, and it really shook me, because I went from being happily very healthy and vegan to quite literally, and I mean literally, only being able to eat bacon and chocolate. And I was previously allergic to chocolate. And then now having a diet that's very high in sugar and in dairy and in meat. But that's what I need now, for whatever reason. And a part of it is it's the breaking down of this ego, the idea that this is what I am, this is who I am, this is how I am to the world, and it's right for me. And maybe as a test to see how we navigate the uncomfortable nature of those sort of transitions. And so with the Girls on the Avenue, Van Gogh, prostitutes, and then the miracle of love and lighting a match, they feel like polarities. Sexual energy, sexuality is like, oh, love and light, and everything's all pure and everything on one side, and then the other side of it. But there is no other side. Not really. So it's alchemizing these polarities in sexuality. What do we have to say about that, Spirit? Thank you. You are giving yourselves chances to re-administer previously polarized thought forms and hierarchical terms which do not allow for change and growth. You are giving yourself new terms of agreement on how to conduct your life physically, mentally, and emotionally, so that you can have experiences that were previously considered a faux pas. Giving yourself access to timelines which you had previously discarded will allow the soul's growth in infinite abundance. And I'm asking, is this why we have midlife crises? You dedicate yourselves to social terms that do not suit the human vehicle based on tendencies and expectations which align with control mechanisms and archaic forms of vandalism of the soul. Burying yourself deep may protect you from the lashback from the outside world that you fear, but it will also suffocate you, smother you. You have grown in aspects which were not predetermined, for this is experimentation and therefore a great delight to assist with. You have more choice than you know. More experiences are waiting on the horizon, handpicked by your spirit team, by your higher selves, in the hope of new creation. We caution you to sedate your ego in the aspect of self-torment and self-punishment, berating. You have many ways to go, and quite a ways to go before you adjust to these terms and conditions of your life. Those that you fear will judge or possibly leave your life, your existence, may or may not surprise you. But we ask you to consider why you allow others to hold such a weight in the say of your life when they do not give you the same power. Do not be afraid to break ties if people wish to stay behind. This does not mean that they are not angelic in nature, as you all are. This simply means that you have taken off bind to this person at this time. Allow yourself and all others freedom to explore as you and they wish and will, and try to flow in your existence rather than needing to control. Angels have focused your intention on specific tasks. You have already taken care of a lot of the business which you fear will get in the way of your new life. You have already done the energetic clearing and cleansing. Maintenance is always advised. You are prepared. You are able to tackle projects and obstacles that were previously beyond your capability. Do not let the experience of having failed before loosen your grasp on your own tool belt, on your own significant and abundant and mighty power. Practice it as you see fit and build confidence. Your masks have come off, and as they come off, it is a surprise to those who are used to viewing you with the mask on. Be receptive to their thoughts only in the manner in which is enticing to you. Again, do not allow others to dictate your life. Be steady in your gaze, in your transformational forward thinking. And I'm just asking about, they're always saying be here in the now moment, because the now moment is the only time. And also, you know, how do we navigate? It's not other people's fault that we change, so, and that they expect us to be a certain way because we have taught them to expect us to be a certain way. So I'm asking about how we navigate that. You require little assistance at this time. You are generating enough income to do what it is you need to do. But you are required to find paths which you have not thought of, or perhaps thought were too hard or out of your comfort zone, out of your experience. I feel like this is to do with career. So I'm asking about the reading with the sexual alchemy. Are we still talking about that as well? You're required to generate income to explore the world, and this will bring you to choice points, to crossroads, to people, places and things that will require your discernment to navigate, knowing that no choice is truly wrong, it is experience. although we understand that you do not see it that way 99% of the time. Thrive in the conditions which you have created for yourself, for from there grows that which you desire. Now, separate from them, I'm hearing, I want to break free. I want to break free. So why would we create circumstances that make us feel trapped and that we want to break free from? They said ancestral luck. I'm actually holding the skull, which is it watermelon tourmaline. So pretty. Skulls to me just represent ancestors or birth, death cycle transition. Some relics of the past hinder your growth. So maybe this is ancestral. Oh, they're saying lack. Lack, luck. They're like mixing lack and luck together. Okay. Yeah. Did you see that? Seriously. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So, beautiful ancestors here. Okay, I don't want to just assume that they're the cards. Nikuria, Mamakia, Mamakia, go on. Oh, that was, okay, there we go. That was the next card in the pile after the Keepers of the Earth. And it says, get grounded, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And this is Work Your Light Oracle. If you're interested. And so the next two cards were Mintaka, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Hello, my Mintakan family. She always exists. I know there's that feeling of the home being destroyed, that we're not home, but it's always accessible because there's no time. Just draw on her energy when you feel sad. I'm hearing Scatman, each to their own. And now ask a question. Oh yeah, I'm seeing Orion's belt here at the top. Now I want you to ask a question, and I'm going to flip the card in 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just say yes. Is this the card? Okay, I feel like somebody's refusing to rest here. Even when we're resting physically, sometimes the mind's just going, and it makes it really difficult to actually get the rest. And that's the ego-mind complex being traumatized, right? So get used to kind of feeling like you're not doing enough physically without neglecting your physical vessel or your physical environment. If you want clear advice, you need to have clear energy, you need to have clear environment. Cleaning is really important to being a clear channel. And if you're having trouble with readings, if you're reading yourself, then get a pendulum. And if you can clearly command the pendulum, yes or no, just ask it for a yes, ask it for a no. And if you can, like, for a minute, do that and it feels good and it just doesn't disagree with you, then you're ready to do a reading, like a card reading or a channeling. And if you can't, you're not. You need to gather your energies, clear your energies. Physically cleaning is a way of doing meditation. It's a pre-meditation to meditation. So get used to it. And if you're in a homeless situation, just things like washing your face, sweeping out the spot where you are, those kind of things will really show the universe, your higher self, that you are violet flame, all those sort of things, clearing, cleansing. It will show the universe that you are listening and that you're willing to take action. 34. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Oh, there's something else there. There's something about, can you see how there's kind of lines going up from her hands with those stars? It's like some kind of like puppet master thing happening. And I'm just trying to figure out which way it goes. They're saying commanding the universe. And the stones here to me feel like they're sinking, like I actually feel like I'm sinking into quicksand or something. But the next card is leap. If the ground is sinking beneath your feet, you've got no choice but to sink or to leap. And the ever unfolding rose is cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Which is kind of from a spiritual perfection. From a spiritual point of view, it's perfect. From a human point of view, it's terrifying. So from a human point of view, I'm so sorry that you're going through what you're going through, or have been through what you've been through. But from a spiritual perspective, from the higher self perspective, congratulations, well done. Whether you're sinking or about to leap, sink or swim, it doesn't matter. Congratulations, because you're having an experience. And I know, like, I just saw a bullet like shot through my skull then. Thank you. Don't shoot the messenger. I know that I'm probably doing that to myself as I'm rewatching this at a poignant in time. It's in the Akashic Records. It's, some things are meant to be. I do know I'm not a fatalist. I don't believe that things are set in stone, but I feel like we have pre-programmed things that we experience, and how we navigate them is our free will. And whether we experience some things or not is dependent on the paths that we choose. But because this Akashic, the Akasha, was upside down, I feel like there's something that you're not seeing. Like maybe your boundaries, you've just had enough, and your boundaries are so firmly set that even the beings that need to get through to you, that have agreed to come through to you for your next steps, can't get in. I just heard soft shell crab. But it's basically about the vulnerability of moving from one container to another. Okay, so not that one, this one. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? What is it you're not doing that you know you need to do? That maybe you're even blocking out your own intuition because you're scared. Ego, mind says we're safe in this. and we're staying here, but then there's the other part of you, your soul, that's saying, no, I'm not safe here, I'm suffocating. And I don't know, it says take a break, that you're not taking a break and aligning your life, because these are inverted. You're not in your priestess energy, you're not in your inner temple, and not connecting into your age of light. They're all inverted. So if you've got a particularly stubborn ego like I do, just trying to protect me, because it does have its own wisdom. We can't be here without an ego. You're not killing your ego. Don't get drawn into that bullshit. Gatherings. That was another card here. Okay, so is that why this is out? Because there was a gathering card, the Great Gathering card here. And then we've got gatherings. It's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. Gather greater festive witches, speak of joy and drink to wishes. Take one, give two, celebrate all bliss. So usually I would say that the full moon, lots of full moons everywhere here, is something that is hidden. But it's also completion. It's the completion of those cycles. And see the moons coming up here. The cycles that it requires to embody our higher selves more greatly. They're saying fruition. Yeah, the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Taking that leap to create heaven on earth. It's happening. And that was the last card that was turned up right. The rest of the pack's not being used. Ringing the bells. Ring thy bell to cast them out, ring thy bell and dance about. Swell the sounds amidst the winds, nowhere to hide, for all will ring. And so we've got deer, spirit, reindeer. And that is, sorry, Seasons of the Witch. Yule. I feel like that is casting out doubts and casting out, in that act of enjoying your transformation, in being hopelessly who you are, becoming or remembering, then it will cast out those who suppress you. That's the question. Being drawn to the Crystal Medicine Oracle. Say my name, and every color illuminates. That's Ashtar. Well, I was about to pick up the Keepers of the Light and ask who's with us. And so that would be Ashtar. Command, Ashtar, family. Woo! So we've got reflections and healer, but I'm not sure. Ooh. What's that for? Okay, it's in this hand. No, hang on. I want that one too. Healer, reflection. Medicine drum, soul retrieval, inner wisdom, self-mastery, rejuvenation, and cleansing. They said not cleansing. Okay. You are a shaman of ages old. You are a healer in your own right. Allow yourself to come through the veils, through the ages, through the cosmos, and to relieve your own plight. Imbued in your own palms are gifts of beyond compare and of ill repute. Only because your magic was suppressed for a time that has now come. And I'm seeing Orion's belt again in Taka. You have received affirmations and confirmations which will allow you to reflect upon the womb of your being. So medicine drum is important here. Medicine, because that's the only one I've got turned that way. Rhodonite. Dig deep into your waters, into your inner knowing, into your sacral center, and bang the drum. That's malachite there, and I'm wearing malachite, so that's a confirmation. Journey inwards in a shamanic form and retrieve the particles of your soul, which have been hidden behind a mirror of sorts. It is time to evaluate your journey and return home by a winding road. Walk through the labyrinth, confident that your every step is divinely guided and that you have the inner knowing to accomplish great things. Yeah, you have the inner wisdom. You have the inner wisdom to birth the new age. Self-mastery. Geoglyphs, petroglyphs came up in the last reading as well. And so did spider. So go back and watch the last reading. It says, let it burn. It may not necessarily be, that was quite specifically about sexual energy being used to feed parasitic entities. That could be applicable to you, but you might need to read between the lines and apply it to yourself. Well, I mean, you should always be doing that. Okay, self-mastery, spider, topaz, 27. And I'm really seeing how her face is elevated to the light here, her third eye, and her, whatever this chakra is called, the one that helps us communicate with other entities. I don't know if other people use it that way, but that's what I do. Self-mastery. And yeah, I was just thinking that it kind of comes out here as well. There's like a it's like a mirror bouncing off different chakras in there. But I'm seeing how it comes out the back here as well. She's got a cone-shaped hairstyle, but it's reminding me of, you know, how they said that people used to bind their heads, or, you know, maybe they were a different hybrid or species. I don't know. I don't really care. And then there's a star here, but I saw this is Christ on the cross. He's no longer on the cross. I'm hearing the miracle of love again. Self-mastery and rejuvenation. Yeah, so it's like she's in a labyrinth here, and she's using this crystal to reflect the light, the answers down. She's down in the labyrinth in my mind's eye. She's down in the labyrinth and she can't access the light herself because she's too short or the walls are too high. But she's using the crystal to reflect that light back down to herself. So, I mean, all these cards have crystals, but they're in the rejuvenation, the green tourmaline and plant. There's crystals growing from between the roots here and the light shining on them there, confirming what I just said. Rejuvenation. So use crystals to help reflect the light back to you. The light from what we perceive as our past, which would be our past as in past on earth, but also our past in the other direction as in our higher selves, because we were them first and then we trickle down and then we trickle down further than we are and then we're making our way back up, right? If you don't understand what I'm talking about with that, ask for clarity. The name Kyle is really standing out to me on this pack. This is Keepers of the Light. And that's Holy Amethyst there. Krishna, devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Shiva, transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Put a chain around my neck and lead me anywhere. Let me be your teddy bear. Yeah, and then we've got the 3 again, which is Orion's belt. So there's like a slavery in love, isn't there? So if that's where you need to go, it's not wrong. If you need to have an experience where you're led around by the neck for a while, then do it. If that's what you need, it's not wrong. 5, 4, 4, 5. But you decide. I am a energy reader on YouTube, and this is a general reading. Take ownership of your life. I'm being shown Priscilla Presley. So yeah, people are really disgusted at Elvis for the way he treated Priscilla, and I certainly wonder where the parents were, but I watched interviews. She does not, as a full-grown adult and mother herself, does not regret her time with Elvis. She enjoyed being dressed up like a doll. I know she was a child. 5555. That was a part of her experience. That was what she wanted at that point in her life. I certainly don't want things that I wanted when I was a teenager. But that's part of the growth experience. Yeah, they're saying don't judge your past. It's part of the, they're saying it's part of the chain, it's part of the progression up. Mercury, open communication, get a weight off your chest, speak up with love and be heard. So this is going 2 directions. One quickly is that if you want to be with somebody, you need to speak it. Otherwise, how the hell will they know for sure? And the other one is this boundary setting. If you need to speak up and be kind to people, at least initially, and say, look, I realize that I'm changing, and then that can be frightening, but I'm still the same soul, and I just have different requirements and boundaries at this point in time. And if they choose to go off on a ego freak out because of that, that's not your problem. They will fall behind, maybe catch you up again, or fall away for this lifetime, or they will come with you. But just don't, yeah, hold your peace, and don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. So some people say that Mercury is Raphael, as well as definitely Hermes. And there's that, you know, one of the psychopomps I was mentioning earlier. And the wheel turns. Do not forget to truly sink into the love and appreciation for all you have, because there is a version of you that this is a wish come true for. They are thankful that you've made their wish come true, and it's okay for these things to end, but not, I think you will kick yourself if you don't truly sink in and appreciate what you have and what you have created throughout your life. Go back through the record of what you have done in this life and talk to the different versions of yourself. Yeah, phases and cycles as well. Yeah, facing fear, Kali. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So I hope that you're actually listening and that you're taking action on the things that you know you need to take action on, especially the being grateful for what you've created throughout your life. And I'm being shown a video in my mind of a girl who, she was homeless. She was young, and she lived under a bridge with a lot of other homeless people, and they just had their own little section. Other people just lived in grime and all that, and she walked to get water to clean her clothes in a outlet, and she would sit with the water, and she'd sit and listen to the birds, and when it was sunny she'd, oh, thank you for the sunshine, and thank you for the birds, and it was like, I'm so grateful for this. And she was eventually, pretty quickly really, she's still young, found, and because of her attitude, that they could see that she would do something with it. She was basically rescued. Somebody gave her an amount of money so that she could pay the bond for a unit. They went guarantor for her, and you know, she got herself a little dog, and she keeps her unit clean, and she's so grateful at every step of the way. She was grateful for what she had when she had nothing, to our mind. And even when you don't have, like, I've experienced chronic illness for most of my life, be thankful for the health that you have. Be thankful for the people that you have. Be thankful for the life that you have. And it's so difficult. I struggle with depression myself. Always have. And I can feel a bit in the solar plexus and the heart bridge there. And I feel like, okay, they're making a bubble. It's interesting. So I'm seeing like a bubbling of gold in the darkness coming up into that bridge and opening that up. So I feel like the gratitude acknowledges the power of what you have created. You have created this entire reality. You have created your experience. You're so powerful. You can create something new. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. I love you. If you can't be well in it.